Okay, very soggy Sunday here, and the new project, the Hardbody. I don't know if he has an actual name for this truck. Right now, I'm going to call it Second Chance, because it's about to get a second chance at life. Because the last guy who had a hold of it did not know what they were doing. Is that supposed to be a weld? Because it doesn't look like it. I mean, this was prefabbed altogether. This is, I don't know what that is. Then we have our cross member, which is attached to the bed mount. So, you know, you have this very thin metal supporting your entire suspension, upper suspension link bars. And then they cut that completely in two, have some 1-inch tubing holding the top of it together, and supporting all of this stuff. It looks like my cover blew off. And yeah, the more you look, the worse it gets. This, yes, these ratchet straps are actually holding the rear end in place because these welds broke completely off when they attempted to load it onto the trailer. And this bottom bar is, yeah, it has a strap on it too because it's also broke. Over here, they just attempted to pile the welds onto this one to make it stay. See a lot of grinding discs in this project. Because all this is going to have to be ground way back down and re-welded. And I'm thinking this cross member deal on the front is going to just have to completely be redone, because there's no way that that's got any strength to it. So let's see what else we got here. Nice new tires on it. He said they got less than 1,000 miles on them. He actually drove the truck. Oh yeah, this is another mess. Look what they did to the fuel and brake lines. Terrible. Yeah, he was actually driving the truck. It was a running driving truck when he took it to this guy to bag it. And he got it back in this condition. No fuel lines hooked up, no brakes. You can't really see anything there yet, but it won't air up. No valves hooked up, no lines, nothing. He was paying the guy as he went, and he got the guy paid off, and then he didn't do anything else to the trucks. Alright, now to figure out how to get this highly unstable mess here off. How y'all like my Harbor Freight air management here? It works. Oh, until you go to bending it around. Come on now. Well, okay. Well, now that I can get back here, I can get under here. And, oh my God, that's terrible. It's even worse than I thought. They built the cross member, then cut it in two, then hacked it all to pieces. It's awful. Okay, anyway, so, well, there ain't no easy way to cut that loose. I was going to just take the plate off, but I think my best bet's going to be just take everything off the plate, and then, honestly, I think just cut the whole cross member and all out, because it's all got to go. Okay, hopefully the finger trick on the nuts. Hopefully I can hold this nut with my fingers. Yep. Enough to take it off. Finger on the nuts. Yeah. I'm sure he probably lost the rest of the hardware that came with the kit. Now, let's see, should have a swivel right here. Y'all see that? Taking that out with my fingers. Nothing tight, nothing Teflon. So there's one loose compressor. Come on. And of course now it's turning all the way through. There we go. So 2 little 1/4 inch bolts basically. They're metric. Is all we had holding the tank. There we go. Get a load of that. Now, you know, if he's going to do this and mount all this stuff like this, a nice flat piece of plate. Or if you're going to do the angles and stuff. What the hell is that? I shouldn't even be surprised. But yeah, highly unstable. Oh, here we go. Remove that. No, I'm not Superman. That's just how crappy the welds are. I'm gonna have to find a place to store all these parts now. Okay. So there's that piece out of the way. Now you can kind of see. Yeah. So, if I can just, sensitive thing. Anyway, trying to get that out of the way where we can see what we're looking at here. So we built this cross member, and then the drive shaft's going to hit that. So he just chops it in 2, butchers it, completely butchered there, and then he welds some 1-inch tubing on the side, brings up another piece of 1-inch tubing up here, and proceeds to build the tank and compressor mounts with this crap. Look at that. That's a piece of flat stock right there. And some sheet metal. Anyway. And yeah, so this is complete garbage. And it's all got to go. But like I said, I'm most likely just going to eliminate the entire cross member, because you got 3 welds here. Yeah, there's none underneath. Of course he didn't put none underneath, which is good for me. And whether I got to just cut that off or whatever. So take this entire cross member out, but before I do that, I got to figure out how to stabilize it, because that, you know, this link bar is still holding. He reinforced the crap out of this one. And that one's stuck on there with some bubble gum. Let's try something here. So the back broke off. The missing link. Wow. So this one over here, he's got extra plates on and stuff, and then he just piled the weld on the side of that. That's going to be real fun to clean up. There's like 4 welds on the one seam there. On the good side, the ones that'll come off like that will make it easier to get all the stuff off to redo everything. I can't believe I just ripped off the 4-link bar with my hands, and it wasn't even hard. I didn't even, that's terrible. I think that was the easiest weld I've ever cut. Not that I'm complaining, but normally weld is kind of hard to cut. Well, I didn't even go down this front side, but I'm betting I can probably whack this thing with a hammer a time or two. Maybe. Because that weld on the front there is not substantial at all. Alright, I know I've got a sledgehammer sitting around here somewhere. Look at that. Mounting tab. Okay, there broke loose my cross member. Yep. I did not cut the weld on the front side over there, because it wasn't even holding it. Didn't break anything right there. Well, it's held in there more by wedged in there than anything. Come on out of there. Oh my. There we go. Yeah, now y'all can see what the... Some of the bullshit they had going on here. Look at this. Oopsie, don't step on the drive shaft, idiot. That was almost bad. So yeah, they built this cross member, which isn't even welded here, and then realized, okay, we gotta notch it. So, wow. So they put some gussets on there and notched it, and then they realized, well, the drive shaft's going to hit, so let's just hack a notch out of it, build some 1x1, and, you know, stick that together with some Bazooka Joe bubblegum here, and then put a 1x1 up here for our tank mount. And that's sheet metal. A piece of flat stock here, some very flimsy angle iron. And then the other side, he had some pieces of plate welded here, here, and here. That's what I broke off yesterday when I grabbed a hold of it and was going to show that it flexes and it said blink. So, we now have a piece of scrap metal here. So these welds broke. I broke that off yesterday. That was the link bar. that I grabbed and just said boop. And let me show you this other tab that I knocked off here. It's also spliced, pieced, whatever you want to call it. He took basically a gusset, welded that to the frame. Because see, this was intended to be an axle tab. It's cut out in the bottom. This was part of the kit, I'm sure. And who knows, the gussets may have been, I don't know. But yeah, look at that. You had a little bit of weld sticking here and there. That's all it was holding. I may have already showed this, but like basically non-existent welds here. So I cut me another 4x4 and stuck in there, and you know, that's what's holding the truck up right now. And we have kind of a 2-link because we only got the bottom link bars of the 4-link in here right now. But I mean, yeah, definitely need some more light. I'll get that set up when I actually get to doing more real work. I'm still just preliminary and you know, kind of tear down phase and stuff. See, I hadn't even really got a good look at this. So apparently he put some plate back here. I'm not really sure why. This is boxed in anyways. But there's definitely a heavier plate there, and then he put the angle there for the gas tank. And it only had 2 bolts. It only had 2 holes drilled. One over there. Well, there was 2 over here because apparently he missed with the first one or something. And, you know, that's a piece of angle iron. A little tubing in the back. Let me see if I can get a little extra light here. So that is what holds the front of the 4-link. It is a piece of channel iron welded to the stock inner frame, which as you can see right there is not that thick. So that right there is all, see, there's no cross member, nothing, just a bolt. Yeah, so naturally that's got to be redone. Pretty much everything that was done has to be redone.
We need to get the stuff out from under to make sure there ain't nothing under the frame up here where this
The e-brake cable.
e-brake cable is.
Alright, let me see if I can lift him enough to do that, or we may have to carry him back up a little. That's it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they're both the same according to these.
Okay.
But it's that right there. You still got 9.5 inches.
9.5 inches, and your bag probably goes to 10.
Yeah.
So in other words, you
So
have about.
if you drop this 5 or 6.
Yeah. It needed to be even for this to even work. So that's where he got to this point and then realized he done screwed up royally and didn't know what to do to fix it.
Yeah. You could take this off and drop it down in the frame.
Yeah.
It can drop 5 inches with no, or maybe even a little more than 5.
So our notch is welded on top of the frame and then got some plates stuck on it. And with that made it to where the notch is too high. When he built the bridge, there's too much clearance from the bag mount to the axle. You get absolutely no lift. It won't work. It can't work.
It could be put there, but if they don't need to be that high, because with the frame laying on the ground.
Well, we want to do bag on the axle anyways, but.
I know, but right there with the frame.
Look at that.
With the frame laying on the ground, you still got 8 inches between chair and the axle.
This one might actually stay because it's got a pile of weld on it.
Yeah. No.
Pile of weld on it, but it still ain't holding nothing.
Still didn't hold.
Pile of weld, but maybe a few little spots of it that actually had any. Well, aside from grinding the bird shit off of it, it's been pretty easy getting all the stuff loose.
Mm-hmm.
And there you can see the front mounts, how it's just a piece of channel iron welded to the inner frame. And you see how thick that inner frame is?
Yeah, I know.
Usually you got like a cross member that'll. Those link bars are excessively long.
Yeah, they should be back here just behind it.
Yeah.
Where you can.
I'm wondering if those are supposed to be the ones that are angled. See, when you angle it, sometimes you got to have your top bars a little bit longer to make them equal. Or if they was all the same length and he just cut the others down, it's hard to say. But at any rate, let me see tape here.
But it won't hurt a thing to drop that 5 inches anyhow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The frame height.
Okay, so you got 36 inches. So typically,
And you can't get 36 on these.
no, but 36 inches. If they're angled,
Still can't get quite 36.
yeah, that'd be about right. Well, it's a little behind the axle. And a little long. Huh. Well, that's interesting. At that, it won't even put the butt of it on the ground. Well, let's see, the roll pan probably hangs down. It probably don't really hang down below the frame. It's got to be able to drag, you know.
Well, if you let this back down flat here on the front, so a frame. Now these are 12 inches. And these are 14.
Did he get the frame out of whack?
I believe. Measure that, and then that over yonder looks lower than this one. It looks twisted.
We may have to find us a donor frame and just cut the whole thing off.
You should have 12 there.
You got 12 inches right there. $12.25 there.
Now I got 14 over here.
Sheesh.
So that's twisted.
Yeah.
What you got right here? That looks crooked too.
I got 25.5. Got 26.
Now they ain't but a half inch there, but you got a difference back here.
Yeah. Which if I'm going to cut this notch out and redo it like I was talking about, we would be able to take care of that.
Measure them right on the tail end and see what you got.
Got 12 3/4. Got 14 1/2.
Yeah. See, this side's 2 inches higher than that.
Holy crap.
The bed would have been.
Yeah. He ruined this truck. Not welded at all down there. A little bit down here. Some here. I almost feel like the grounding wheel is unnecessary and I need a hammer and a chisel. This, I feel, is going to be laughable. Okay, y'all seen what little bit of grinding I did on that. Okay, I underestimated it. A little stronger than I thought. Need a little bit more up here. Don't get too happy with it. It's not very stable sitting on a couple of blocks and a 2-link. Oh, he did put a little weld on this top corner. Okay, let me cut that loose. And I feel like the bottom will break pretty easy. There we go. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Y'all see that? Look. No weld whatsoever. I mean, they try to attempt a little bit right there. Okay, so we got another plate here. There's no weld on the bottom of it. No weld up through there. Look at that. There we go, removed that one. We might make something out of that, but piece of 1/4-inch plate there. Alright, so I took the cut-off wheel and cut the welds on 2 sides right there. It is welded on the back side, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. Yeah. That weld on the back side, yeah. This one wasn't doing much. I was afraid I was going to spend hours and hours grinding and cutting all this stuff apart, but I don't think it's going to take that long. Let's see here. Get a bite. There again. Just broke that one off. The only thing holding was the top. The top was holding here, here, and there. They had put some weld here, but maybe a little bit right there. None of that was holding. They didn't even go all the way down. Finally found our rollers, or skates, as we call them. And had to do a little work. Actually had a long one, had to cut it down, add the brace pieces in, but so we got them going now. And they're going to go up under the frame. Probably going to have to air the front up, yeah. Go up under the frame and let it rest on, and that way if I take the rest of the suspension out, it ain't going to matter. It'll still roll. Down here on the bottom, much better. Okay.
Sound like it cut through?
Well, I cut the grinder off while I still had in contact with it. What in the hell did he do there? Oh, it's just build up a weld. I thought the notch was bent in. I think I'm gonna have to cut a little more. There we go. Yep. I ain't cut that back side at all, but there it goes. Wasn't holding enough to worry about trying to cut it. Because this is the weld I just cut. Where I cut it, it's kind of hard to tell that. And then let's see. I think this is the, yeah. This was the top, isn't it? No, that's the bottom. There wasn't much holding there anyway. This is the back side, what I just pried off. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4 little spots kind of holding a little bit. Yeah, he's just got a pile of weld on him. It's going to take a lot of grinding to clean that up. he did not even weld the frame notch to the frame at all right there. It's just sitting on top of it, and that plate was the only thing holding it. He's a little weld at the front, a piece of scrap metal stuck in here and welded at the back because he didn't even match it up. I can stick my finger in back here, and then up here it comes down to touch. That's because this angle is cut to go to match the bottom of the frame. It's supposed to be notched in and go to the bottom, not stuck on top of it like this. So, alright. Look at that. That's disgraceful. So that cobbled up plate that I just removed in about, I don't know, under 10 minutes, obviously, by my counter on my camera, is all that was holding that. That and this blob of stuff here. I seriously doubt that's got much strength to it either. So that, and then the plates I took off on the other side here. He did actually kind of try to weld that side to the frame, but so that side came off in under 10 minutes. See how long that takes me to get this one. Might have a little more trouble because the rear end's off centered. The tire is going to be on my way over here. We'll see. That's what that weld cut through.
That didn't take much.
Dad's giving commentary from back in the corner. He's back there trying to make a spot for a pipe bender machine. Ride the wheel over a little bit. And now, maybe we can get this in here. I'm going to stand in the way. Now, if anybody's wondering, I would protect the dude's back glass, but the last guy already ruined it, so it don't make a whole lot of difference at this point. Can't really see anything over here. I think I got that one. Hit the bottom a little bit. I get this hard turn a little bit like so. Yeah, now I gain access. Now we just got the back side weld, and there it went. Okay, plates off. Let me see. That one took me like 8 minutes. No, 7 minutes. Of course, this top was the only thing really holding much of anything. I'm not even sure how much it was. There's that back side I just popped off. A couple little welds kind of pretending to hold there. So, alright. This is something to do with why it's off on the back end.
Yeah.
On the driver's side, the frame notch fits to the frame and is welded down. On the passenger side, he's got a piece of scrap metal stuck under the back of it to be able to weld it, and there's a big gap as you go. That's probably what's throwing it off.
Yeah.
Because it was off at the back of the notch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The front was right, because the front's, yeah. So that's where that's where it's off. Something like that. Let's see what that does. Oh yeah, there we go. So where they haven't cut out the inner fenders in the front, it rubs very hard when it's laid out. Oh, maybe rolling it, I'll get the rear end recentered. Whoa, right there. Okay. There we go. Just had to get that bottom broke loose. There was a couple spots that I couldn't reach because of the tires. It was holding a little bit, but pretty much right there and right there. Yeah. Well, there went one side. There we go. I thought I was going to go through a ton of cutoff wheels on this job. So far, I'm still on the first one. All right. Well, that's going to about wrap it up for the teardown portion. Of course, I got a lot of grinding to clean up all this mess. Still got to cut this one out. Let me see if I can do that next. I got to show you all this. The reason why the frame was sitting lopsided. Said, and as you can obviously see, there was never any weld here holding that notch. And for some reason, he felt the need to put some shims under this back end Probably just trying to fill in the gap. And so that threw the notch off. This side, passenger side, at the very back was about 2 inches higher than the other side. And that right there is where it came from. Fairly certain. So, yeah. Okay. This is going to pretty much wrap it up for this video. Just want to say I hope y'all enjoy the videos, whether it's entertainment or you actually learn anything out of it. If you try any of this, do so at your own risk. It's fabrication. There's lots of ways you can get hurt in this. So use your safety, use your common sense. And be safe. If you're in the garage, be safe, y'all. And if you enjoy it, like and subscribe. That helps me out. I want to build this thing up. I'm still learning production. I'm still learning editing. So, hopefully I'll improve as I go. But that's going to be it for this video. So, later.